Good morning, everyone. I'm Michelle Jenkins, and I'm got the pleasure of kind of opening our ceremony today. I want to tell you thank you for joining us at the ribbon cutting for our new parking structure. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you as we celebrate the opening of this much anticipated addition to our Valencia campus. As a member of the Board of Trustees for 35 years, and I think currently one of the longest seated trustees in the state of California, and a CO2 graduate and a member of the community since 1964, I have watched significant changes in our valley and our college. It's extremely rewarding and exciting to see how the college has grown and developed and to meet the continually changing needs of our students and the community. As a college, we have always strived to enhance student access and success, whether it's offering more sections of a class, new degree programs, updated facilities, amazing faculty and support services, and superior services to our community, or in this case, parking. Thanks to the voters who supported Measure E, we were able to further enhance our access for students by providing this wonderful parking structure. And I must tell you, I'm deviating here for a minute, but I want to tell you that I've been out in the community a lot, as I always am, and I've had more comments about this parking structure than any other thing we've built on the campus in terms of how attractive it is. And so I'd like to give kudos to our architects right now and to Jim Shiragi of Facilities. It's a beautiful facility. People are really impressed when they drive by and see our insignia on it. So thank you to our staff. No longer will our students have the excuse that they missed class or were late because they couldn't find parking. No longer will they have to say they will wake up earlier tomorrow to find parking spot. We all know that whether we say we will wake up earlier or start a diet tomorrow, they rarely happen. As we get started with our celebration, I'd like to make some brief introductions, beginning with my fellow board members. I'm pleased to introduce Steve Zimmer, the immediate past president of our Board of Trustees. And that is the only other trustee who made it here this morning, so I'll go on. And it's also my distinct privilege to acknowledge our Chancellor, Dr. Diane Van Hook. And we're going to hear from her in a moment. We are privileged to have a number of highly regarded community members who serve on our Citizens Bond Oversight Committee, which oversees bond activities of both Measure E and Measure M. And I want to acknowledge those of them who are present with us today. Barbara Cochran, Don Kimball, Mike Lebecki, and we count the city of Santa Clarita among our strongest patrons at College of the Canyons. And we're happy to have here with us city council member and a long-standing supporter of the college, Lorene West. We also are pleased to have represented here our legislators, John Amandi from the Office of Congressman Katie Hill. Also, I like to claim she's a former COC student. Chris Huff, representing Senator Scott Wilt. Christy is also, I'm getting ahead of myself. Andrew Taven, and from Christy Smith's office, who's also a proud alum and former student leader at COC. Vanessa Wilk, representing Assembly Member Tom Leahy, whose husband, Senator Wilk, started his political career here at the college as a board member, so I always like to claim that. Nicole Vartanian is here on behalf of Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barger. Please join me in acknowledging the team behind the construction of the facility, Jim Moreno, with MMA Architects. From Manel Construction, we're pleased to have Alex Matranga and Dan Dini. Kevin Chin is here from DHA and Calpec, the engineering firm for the project. I lost my page here. Sorry, okay. Vance Adams serving as the division, the state architect, inspector. Yeah, yay, that's right. Very good. From Lawrence R. Moss and Associates, our landscape architect, we have Bong Roof. And again, I want to thank all of you for joining us to celebrate. This event is special for many reasons, but your presence here today is chief among them. The reason we are building new buildings and enhancing our capacity to serve students is because we enjoy such strong support from our community and our business community. Wim Wenders said that without dreams there can be no courage, and without courage there can be no action. That perfectly describes our next speaker. A leader who dreams big, has massive amounts of courage, and puts into action more plans than anyone else I've ever known. She's a developer of people, plans, pathways, programs, places, partnerships, possibilities, and in this case, parking structures. As current vice president of the board and the individual, and I always claim this, who was serving as board president when she was hired, it is my distinct privilege to introduce our Chancellor, Dr. Diane Van Hook, who is currently finishing her 31st year of leadership at College of the Canyons. This campus, its progress, and its partnerships are a testament to the impact of her courageous, dedicated, and visionary leadership. In our community college system, capital projects typically take years to go from idea to reality. It takes a leader who is in it for the long term, who's committed and stays the course to see things through to success. Diane Van Hook is just that leader. And she's done a wonderful job of surrounding herself with people who buy into her vision and also exhibit that kind of courage. Her positive attitude is contagious. She's a coach, a visionary, a doer, a shaper of the college, and passionate about everything that she does. This new parking structure is a great example of Dr. Van Hook's remarkable ability to anticipate the needs of the future while building on the needs of the moment. She's been an architect and builder of COC for years and has seen us through 3 major bond measures, the development of 6 educational facilities master plans, and the addition of the Canyon Country campus, which we were there yesterday celebrating. She was a passionate advocate in Sacramento, where she has lobbied for and secured building and operational funding to enable us to expand instruction and continue our ever-serving student population. Her keen sense of vision, strong commitment to the community she serves, belief in the power of California community colleges to change lives, and her passion for supporting the development of possibilities drives her to pursue the things that many colleges call impossible, and many of her colleagues do also. But it is her unique ability to share her vision and inspire others while building bridges and partnerships along the way that turns impossibilities into possibilities. Dr. Van Hook's mission is clear. She works to remove barriers for students, even parking barriers, provides a positive learning environment, works to acquire the necessary resources to support excellent teaching and student learning, all the while fostering and challenging innovation to meet the needs of our students. It is with a great deal of pleasure that I ask you to join me in welcoming our Chancellor, Dr. Diane Van Hook.
Thank you very much. I was just sitting here thinking about the first time that I drove down Valencia Boulevard, and it was in 1983, and it was on Valentine's Day, and I was interviewing for the superintendent president job here. I didn't get it, but I came and I interviewed. I remember what I wore. I remember I had the great good fortune or something else of staying at the Ranch House Inn, the only motel that looked like it was acceptable in town, having dinner in the delightful restaurant that had sawdust on the floor and cowboy boots and smoke everywhere. And thinking to myself as I drove down here, because we did not have these parking lots. These were onion fields in those days on this campus. And at the time I was working at Santa Ana College in Orange County, and I had put together a foundation that helped raise money to build another campus in that district. It's now called Santiago Canyon College. And I was used to having lunch with Hal Sagerstrom, who built South Coast Plaza and the Sagerstrom Center for the Arts at the Ritz. And I'm driving down Valencia Boulevard, and I thought, I'm not sure this is a good fit. And I came into the campus, and people were friendly, and they were passionate. At that time, I think the college had about 3,000 students. Everyone was so immensely proud of what they were doing. And it was at that moment that I said, I am going to work at College of the Canyons. It doesn't matter how many times it takes. I am not going to give up. My great Aunt Mabel on the farm in Minnesota used to say always, the third time's the charm. And that's how many times it took me to get here. But I am so very glad that I did. I want to thank you all for joining us for this celebration as we mark a new first, a parking structure. So when some of my colleagues who are over there, and one right there, suggested that we build a parking structure a long time ago, in the 1999, I think it was, I said, no, I don't want a parking structure. Of course, at that time, I was also saying, no, we're not going to have voicemail. Every person that calls College of the Canyons is going to hear Gloria Jackson and her upbeat, we're not having voicemail and we're not having parking structures. And then fast forward 10 years later, where the beginning of every semester, our office would receive emails and calls about parking. Where am I going to park? There's no parking, I can't get to class. And so eventually, slowly, and everybody, as most people speak, that I'm very fast to change, but not on the topic of parking structures and phone systems. But I eventually did move along. And I'm very, very proud that we were able to come up with a parking structure. As Michelle said, it's attractive. Most people who drive up and down Valencia Boulevard or Rockwell Canyon or on Sierra Highway at Canyon Country don't know what's inside when you go inside the campus. And I've received a lot of phone calls and comments at meetings. What's that new building you have on Valencia Boulevard? And when someone can mistake a parking structure for a building, you know you've hit that high mark and done exactly what you wanted to do, which was to build it into the flavor of the campus. As I mentioned, when I arrived here 31 years ago, we had 6 buildings on campus. That was it. We had about 4,800 students total, not all full-time. We had only 200,000 square feet of space and only 44 disciplines and majors. We were a sleepy little suburban college that local residents referred to as a campus on the hill. That's it being the hill. Now, coming out of the Sierra Nevadas, Lake Tahoe, where I worked to build a community college, I kind of didn't understand the definition of a hill, but I got the concept. And the concept was, this is our college, but it's small and kind of quaint. And its possibilities are probably fairly narrow. This spot where we were standing, the only things that parked here were sheep and onions until the houses were built across the street. In 1983, they were building houses across the road on across Rockwell Canyon. And when I came here in 1988, the houses were all built. We also didn't have a lot of stuff going on. We weren't a city until 87, December of 87. We didn't have a mall. We didn't have a Home Depot or 2. We didn't have 1 or 2 Lowe's. We didn't have 3 Walmarts. We didn't have a Costco. And there weren't a whole lot of places to go to eat. It's not that I'm not a fan of fast food, but we had Gerard's on Lyons Avenue, and we had Le Chien out Sierra Highway. I mistakenly, in an effort to get to a different kind of a restaurant, drove out there on Bouquet one night and ended up in Lancaster, and figured I needed to check a map, so I got out my Thomas Guide. Remember those? When you say Thomas Guide now to a class of young people, I don't know what that is. Is that a website? Is it a bot? What is it, a Thomas Guide? We only had 25 majors and certificates, and during our whole summer session, the entire summer, we offered 19 sections of classes all summer long. Now we serve 32,000 students with 150 degree programs and workforce training. Our university center features 40 plus bachelor's and master's degrees, along with a doctoral program and numerous professional certificates and credentials. We employ nearly 780 innovative and entrepreneurial faculty, classified staff, and administrators, a five-fold increase over 1988. 3 decades can make a big, big difference indeed. The growth didn't happen by accident, though. It was the direct result of planning. Michelle referred to the fact that we've done 6 master plans since 1990. We're on their 6th, and we do a new one every time we've completed the old one or are starting to complete it. It was the result of our business partners, our education partners, our board of trustees, the foundation, the city of Santa Clarita, that we were able to move forward in this way. I know of no other community college district in the state of California that has grown at the pace with the organized plan that also builds in flexibility and responsiveness as we have. As a team, and I acknowledge and credit all of the administrators and the support staff who are out there who have helped us to do the planning and to adjust it as we see the need to adjust. That agility has let us keep our eye on the future, not with the hope of keeping up, but with the certainty of staying one point ahead. We've made it our business to work with others to anticipate what Santa Clarita will need next, and we move forward to meet those needs. How do we do that? We look at where we are now, we determine where we want to be, we identify what's needed to get there, and then we develop the human partnerships, the human potential, and the financial resources to make it happen. As you walk around this campus, and if some of you may only come to groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings, and I would encourage that if you're one of those, you should take a walk around this campus. We have several loops. It's easy to do 10,000 steps in about 32 minutes. And then if you want to do more, you can do that. And see what a beautiful place this is to learn and to work. In the last 10 years, we've opened the Canyon Country campus, the University Center, Mentry Hall expansion, the library expansion, the Learning Center, the Institute for Culinary Education, and Canyons Hall. Right now and yesterday, we were out at Canyon Country for our Canyon Country Advisory Committee meeting. It was a very interesting day. I think the wind gusts were probably about 68 miles per hour. All of the display boards of the pictures turned into gigantic frisbees or targets that had to be immediately retrieved. Plates were frisbeeing all over the place, but we held that meeting anyway because we wanted to give the people who supported from the beginning the development of that site a chance to be the first to have a meeting in the science building. It doesn't have walls or windows yet, so that's why it was a tad windy. And that Science Center is going to change the face of Canyon Country campus and of what College of the Canyons can do. It represents more science laboratory space, classroom space than we have in 3 different buildings here for science at the Valencia campus. It will open the door to new allied health majors and opportunities to STEM careers and give our students an opportunity to complete all of the courses they need for their ADT or their AA degree at the Canyon Country campus. And most importantly, it will let us get a whole bunch of people off a wait list. I'm sure, and I'm not promising that nurses won't be on wait lists, but I'm sure you've all known someone who wanted to get into our nursing program. They've probably bent your ear. You've probably really worked hard to explain that quality education is worth waiting for. And the good news is you probably will still have to do that, but the wait won't be as long because it's all those prereqs that they have to get out of the way first. More students and more community use of our campus means more cars on campus. So as our enrollment has grown, we sucked it up, decided to build a parking structure, and know that it's probably not the first one we will build. We will probably have another parking structure at the Canyon Country campus and maybe even in the south lot as we go forward. Parking means access. If students can't get a place to park, they can't get to class. It's pretty simple order of process. The famous line from the Field of Dreams says it best: if you build it, they will come. For the last 30 years, we built it, and they definitely have come. And the good news is that now, instead of bringing their complaints, they'll have a place to park, which gives me great joy. I look forward to the first day. I was so happy the first day of our semester, this semester. We built this parking structure in 11 months. I think it's highlighted on the sign there. And whenever Jim gives us a timeline, I chop off 20%. So last year when we stood here, 12 months ago and did the groundbreaking, I said, and will this be open? And Jim, this will be open for the beginning of the spring semester. And of course, what's he going to say? There are like 100 people looking at him, and he says, yes, it will. And as we got a little closer, I said, okay, now let's get down to the brass tacks. Is the whole building going to be open? Because you didn't say the whole building would be open. Are we going to open one floor? Are we going to open two? And he said, we will open at least two. And by golly, we opened all three in just 11 months. As we continue to serve as a resource for this community, increasing the community's use of our campus and anticipating the increase in student enrollment of at least 13% over the next 4.5 years due to the construction and residential development, we will need more parking. We needed it now. Now we have it, and we think that that'll hold us for another 7 or 8 years in the future. I don't know how many of you come here on a Friday night, probably not too many, but on a Friday night in the fall in particular, it's like a zoo over here. I mean, we have a high school football game going on in the stadium. We have volleyball going on in the gym. We have a performance going on in the PAC in the big theater. We have a performance going on in the black box theater. And we needed more parking to accommodate that and be the true community resource that we are designed to do. We prioritized classroom and lab facilities. We built those first, and now we have addressed one of the most fundamental support services, parking. We wouldn't be ready to move forward with this project if it weren't for you. We wouldn't be building this project if it weren't for the voters who supported our last bond measure, Measure E, and who supported the other two, Measure C and Measure M. We wouldn't be moving forward if we hadn't had the support of the city over the years and our legislators. All of our legislators the last 30 years, every single one of them went to bat for us with the Department of Finance and the budget process to make sure we got funding for our buildings back in the day before we passed bond measures. And they're still going to bat for us now, making sure that the governor will release funds for our future buildings so we can stretch our bond dollars out further. Now that less than 3 years from passage of Measure E, here we are. And to me, this project is a great example of what can happen when people work together, when they look for common ground, when they focus on the results, when not preferences, but the bottom line. Amazing things can occur, as they always do in Santa Clarita. This project benefits from another thing that's not, I don't think, visible from behind where I am, and that is the advance in technology and how we build vehicles. We have these hybrid vehicles now, and then we have all these electric vehicles. Now, when I was in high school, when I read the book 1984 which was very futuristic when I was in high school, and they talked about all these things. I'm not a sci-fi person, I know, never attended a Star Wars movie, don't know about that thing you do with your hands to do that. I can't even do that thing. If I do it, I'll probably make the wrong gesture and offend everyone, including all the video cameras in the back. And I thought, that's never gonna happen. I mean, what should we, when I think of electric, I think of a toaster. But today, electric cars are all around us and on our roads and helping our environment. So I'd like to bring forward Don Kimball, who serves as the community president of 5 Point, to tell you a little bit more about some unique features of this structure that were made possible by a partnership between our college and the innovative development company behind the next phase of Valencia. And as I do, please welcome him and thank yourselves for supporting College of the Canyons. Don, come on up. Here, you can help me down this time.
Well, I got to tell you, I've been working in this valley about as long as you've been working in this valley. You missed a couple of the high points in restaurants. Happy Steak.
Never been to Happy Steak.
Happy Steak on Lions. And tips.
Oh, yeah.
You had to go for tips for great drinks. Backwoods Inn. I was trying to think of a couple that weren't here anymore. Okay, but anyway, thank you very much. Today's all about partnerships. Just maybe a few minutes, a little bit about who we are. We're 5 Point. We're the follow-up to what was the Newhall Land and Farming Company. We are a premier community developer here in the state of California. We're active in communities in 3 of the most dynamic markets within the state. We're active in San Francisco. We're active down in Irvine, down in Orange County, and of course here within Santa Clarita Valley, which we, at one point going forward, we were calling it Newhall Ranch. We're now calling it the continuation of a great brand, and it's Valencia going forward. So again, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Again, the theme is all about partnerships, and it's all about sustainability, and it's all about change and innovation. I think we share a lot of those same attributes with the college. We have over the years. Our company, under leadership of our CEO, Emil Haddad, we made a big commitment and was made an announcement back in late 2016 that we were going to do something no one else had really done in this nation. We were going to create a master plan community of its size with fully sustainable going forward, meaning it'll have 0 net greenhouse gas emissions. And in order for us to do that, we're having to make big investments in very creative ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions across the nation and within the community. And this is just one example here today of a great, in my mind, a great partnership. We've had great partnerships with College of the Canyon over the years. This is a chance for creating a win for the college, creating a win for the community. And what I'm referring to is that we met with the college, and of course they met us with open arms, and we donated the Clipper Creek chargers that you see inside here. This is our largest installation to date. It's part of our commitment of creating a network of electric vehicle chargers throughout LA County and beyond. And so we put 53 electric vehicle charging stations in this new parking structure. Again, I want to thank you, Dr. Van Hook. You continue to be a leader in terms of supporting change, supporting sustainability. Evidence of that is here on the campus. It allowed us to go forward and be your partner and make this opportunity to turn it into reality. I have to give a shout out. I got to find him. Jim Schrage. Jim, hats off to you, man. This guy jumped on the opportunity. He's one of the easiest people I've ever had to deal with in terms of turning this into a reality. And with your help, we were able to make this happen today to create this great opportunity. And I want to just make one other comment that, and I know because I'm sitting in the sun here, I'll be short, that leadership of the college, and I know a couple of your trustees are here today, your executive leadership, you should really be proud. This is something really special that you've done here. This is creating an opportunity for many of your students now to commute to and from campus with zero dependency on fossil fuels, which means great for the community, it's great for the environment, and I think another important point, it's very consistent with your students' desire to have a cleaner environment and basically live in a carbon-free environment and reduce their carbon footprint. So with that, I want to say thank you, Dr. Van Hook. We look forward, we've had long-term relationship with this great institution. We look forward to continuing to foster that great relationship going forward in the theme of partnerships that we see here today. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be here today.
Thanks, Don. You know, we survey our students about what they like and about this campus and what we can improve. Guess what always rose to the top of the list? Parking. So I want to invite a student to come up and give the student perspective about what this structure means. So from our Associated Student Government, we have Vera Barcega Ramirez.
Good morning, everyone. It's such a nice, beautiful day today. So I am actually the Executive Liaison Officer, and I've been a student here since winter of 2017. Am I good?
No, you're good, but you're standing on your
I know, this is too tall. Okay, I think this is good. Thank you. All right, so when I started, I didn't really think much about the parking because back then, you know, the intersessions terms and, you know, the fall season wasn't, I mean, the spring season wasn't really as busy as during fall. And not to mention, most of my classes were at the Canyon Country campus, so it didn't really hit me. Until spring of 2018, that's when I decided to take a class here, and boy, was I in a big surprise. I've heard about horror stories of finding parking in this campus, but it didn't really, you know, hit me, and you know, until of course you experience it. Back then I was working, and I was using this app, this phone app that calculates your estimated time of arrival, and I saw like, oh, 30 minutes early, I'm good. So, but when I got here, I didn't find parking at all. And 20 minutes passed, you know, after I arrived, I was like, okay, I have to treat this like a game. It's like a hunting game for parking spaces. So I tried to, you know, scoping and, you know, scoping for students, kind of, let's see, what's the term? It's, you know, following them, hoping that they would leave, and you know, stop there. That's the word. Thank you so much. Although stalking is a strong term. So I was half the time I was successful, and the other half somebody else beat me to it. So I started like being bold and asking each student that I drove by, like, hey, are you leaving? Can I get your parking spot? You know, if I could offer dinner, I would, but I can't. So that actually gave me this great and useful skill that proved to be useful when I got into the student government. Now I can stop any student passing by, like, hey, I'm Vera, be involved. So this structure is very important because it provides peace of mind for students. And, you know, before it's hard to schedule your, you know, to plan and schedule your day because you never know what time you can get parking and go to the activities or events or even class. At least this structure, it gives you like a standard time. Okay, I know how fast it's going to take me to walk from my car to my class. And there's no more reason for us to be, you know, late for school or to class. And and I've had friends, you know, before this who try to be here an hour earlier and they still end up being late for class. And also another another perk about this structure, it provides a nice shade, especially during the summer, hot months. And also, it's so beautiful. A visiting boyfriend of a friend mentioned that this makes this college looks like a university. It actually reminds me of the downtown, the Disney parking in Anaheim. And we don't have the ears, but we have that beautiful sign on the Valencia Boulevard side of this building. So on behalf of our students, I want to thank Dr. Van Hook, our Board of Trustees, and the entire community who saw the need and created the opportunity and responded in stellar style, which is what we do in College of the Canyons. We make dreams come true. Thank you.
Thank you, Vera. We do have some folks here that would like to make some special presentations today. So first off, I'd like to invite Dr. Van Hook up and members of our Board of Trustees that are here today, Steve and Michelle. And then from the Santa Clarita City Council, Lorene West.
Good morning. I'm just very proud and honored to be here for this day. This is an opportunity to yet again congratulate Chancellor and Dr. Diane Van Hook and the Board of Trustees and the vision this college has for education for our students. This takes another impediment away from the very hard sought after education that comes from this amazing college. And we are very proud to be honored to partner with the college on different things. And today we just want to congratulate you on this remarkable movement forward for everyone that comes to the college. This is just a red letter day and we are thrilled to be here with you. So congratulations to you, Dr. Diane Van Hook, and to the entire Board of Trustees.
Okay. All right. You might have to go. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and representing Congresswoman Katie Hill, we have Jonathan Amati.
Good morning, everyone. Jonathan Amati with Congresswoman Katie Hill, proud COC alum. I have to say I am her senior district rep, which means that I go to all of the community events when the Congresswoman is in DC or other parts of the district. And as a lot of you know, that means that I am very busy, as Santa Clarita has a lot of events. And the one thing that I would like to say is that everywhere I go, people tell me about the new parking structure. They say, have you seen it? It looks fantastic, and everyone is so excited here in the community. So with that, it is my honor to be here today to present this certificate of congressional recognition in acknowledgement of the college's commitment to providing a fantastic education for a diverse and growing student body.
Of course.
Don't fall off that dais.
All right. And from Senator Wilkes' office, we have Chris Huff.
If you don't cheer for yourself, who will?
Who will?
That's right.
That's what I say. Good morning, everybody. Is this a great Valencia day or what?
It is.
I love it, Dawn, that we're now Valencia again. I feel like that we're bringing it all back home. I am here, I'm honored to be here on behalf of State Senator Scott Wilk, who has such an affinity for this institution because he was on the Board of Trustees for many years and saw a lot of the vision and a lot of progress in the time he was here. But he asked me to pass on how proud he is of Dr. Van Hook and of this Board of Trustees for really pushing through and making this this beautiful structure happen. I have to tell you from my own perspective, one day I drove up and went, what is that? I live here, and it just popped up, just like, woo! And we were here a year ago, and we were so entertained by Steve Zimmer. Where are you, Steve?
Right there.
Oh, yeah. Talking in the groundbreaking, and less than a year later, it's amazing. It's a beautiful building. And on behalf of State Senator Scott Wilk, thank you for your vision. Thank you for your commitment and always pushing through to make things happen for our students and for this community. Thank you so much. Wait, can we get one from Vanessa?
Oh, yeah.
Do it again.
Yeah, you can't have that. It's
You can't have that.
not helpful. It's really not helpful.
Thank you.
Are we done? Sorry.
All right. And with Assemblywoman Christy Smith's office, we have Andrew Taban.
Student. Student.
Now I'm tiny, and this is, there we go. Good morning. It is a privilege to be here on behalf of Assemblywoman Christy Smith, who is an alumni of College of the Canyons, as well as myself. And really quick story, unlike Vice President Jenkins mentioned, I did follow through on waking up an hour early to come here to find parking, unlike my diet plans, which fall through every month. So on behalf of the Assemblywoman, congratulations to College of the Canyons and also to the City of Santa Clarita. We continuously have a commitment from our city to education. And I think this is one of the proven projects, so congratulations. Oh, over here. Got it?
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew. I'd now like to invite up Vanessa Wilk, who is representing Assemblyman Tom Lackey.
Good morning, everyone. It's a privilege for me to be here on behalf of Assemblyman Lackey, who would be here today, but he is on his honeymoon. So we're really excited for him. Yes, he wanted me to thank you because his daughter goes to school here, and I know it's been a concern of his when she has to park out on the street, and so he wanted me to say thank you so much. He knows she's safe and she has a parking spot and she can get to class on time. So it seems like yesterday we were in Canyon Country talking about building this, looking at the pictures, talking about Measure E, and it's just amazing to me that in 11 months this parking structure is up. I wish you would give some hints to the state of California, and it seems like they take forever to do anything, but thank you so much. 11 months, amazing. So anyway, on behalf of the Assemblyman, congratulations on this beautiful new structure. I'd like to present you with this certificate. Thanks, Vanessa. Thank you. It takes us like 5 years to build a road on the freeway, and it takes you guys 11 months to build it.
Even your phone took a picture. That's good.
Thanks, Vanessa. And I'd like to now invite Nicole Vartanian from Supervisor Barger's office.
Be careful.
Yes, please.
Good morning, everyone. It really is an honor and a pleasure to be here on behalf of our county supervisor, recognizing this amazing milestone that the college has accomplished with the leadership of Dr. Diane Van Hook and the school board and all the administrators and staff that put their vision into building this amazing structure. I remember being a high school student at Academy of the Canyons, coming on campus in 2009, trying to figure out, where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to park? You know, how do I get to my classes? And, you know, as a high school kid, you're kind of a little nervous when it comes to new things, but the campus was welcoming. You know, parking was always an issue, but it was fabulous. And to have this here now, you know, 10 years later, seeing the growth of the campus It is amazing. So on behalf of Supervisor Barger, I'd like to congratulate the Diane Van Hook and the school board for this amazing, amazing structure.
Thank you.
Thank you. How fun, AOC. That's good.
Yeah, your AOC days were great.
Very good.
Okay, now it's time to cut the ribbon. So I'd like to have Dr. Van Hook and the board members step behind the ribbon. Yes.
I have one more idea before they take the mic away. So yesterday we were at Canyon Country, and one of the attendees at our event said, okay, now we got that great parking structure. We're going to have this great science building. I want to teach my full load over at Canyon Country because the facilities are going to be amazing. But now I need you to do something else, which is like happens about 25 times a day. But this is a really good idea, and I haven't even thought about it. I don't know how to make it happen, but I've got a lot of players in the audience, and I'm not going to miss that opportunity to have that face-to-face ask. So what I would like all of you who have any influence over funding, partnerships, collaborations, to think about how we can get a shuttle bus that is an electric vehicle donated so that we can run shuttles back and forth from Valencia to Canyon Country for our students and staff. It doesn't seem to me that with this many people out here, that with as many representatives and influential, important souls out in the audience, that this should be an undoable task. So I'm challenging you, if we could build this parking structure in 11 months, we can solve this problem in 6 months so that when we start our fall term, we have an electric vehicle shuttle that goes back and forth. So that's my parting word. Get out there, dream it, and then for Pete's sakes, do it. Yay!